Marco, I haven't seen Kaliev smile that big in years. What was it like? What was he like on the bench? It seemed a little bit nervous maybe in the first period.
He definitely was. I mean, just from even the last week of practice, he was a little tight too before the game. Took him a little bit, but he had right away. He had some really good chances. I mean, overall, I think he did okay. He can be a lot better, but it's not easy. He missed the whole training camp and the whole season so far. So I'm glad he had this one done, and also scored a big goal in the shootout. So it was nice to have him.
He seemed to really find his legs in the third period, was pouring it on, chance after chance. Is that what gave you, sort of the inkling to use him in the shootout, or did you want to do that maybe just to boost his confidence a little bit in his first game?
Yeah, you know what? Because I know him, and I would have used him in the shootout anyway. My thought was the 3-on-3. I was not sure, right? Because of it's been a long time, but he had a better third period, and that's why I put him out there in OT as well.
I love to ask you about Yamson. He gets the Gordie Howe tonight. I mean, technically, I guess we'll
Yeah.
say. What'd you think when he got mugged there in the third period?
Yeah, no, I asked him if he knows Gordie Howe, but he said yes. So I still don't believe him, but no, good for him. He scored a big goal. That whole line scored 2 goals today. What we definitely needed. We needed some energy. We needed some life, especially after that second period, and that's the line that will give us that.
You've been playing him a lot at center. He's normally been more of a shooter, a sniper in his career. Where does the thought process come from in terms of playing him at center? Is it just what you need?
Yeah, no, it's a little bit of combination because we don't have a fourth line center, so that's one reason. I trust him in the middle because I think he has the puck more, and he's a guy who needs the puck on his stick a lot, and I don't mind him as a center. And I trust him. There's a lot of things the face-offs and all the little things he has to get better, but overall, I think he's getting comfortable too in the middle.
He makes that pass to Element, and it seemed like it was not the type of, like most other guys, it was right on the stick. Element could shoot it right away. I mean, what's it like having that level of skill on your fourth line that can make a play like that?
Yeah, no, and you know what? It's funny. It's funny you said it because last week we talked about because it was a long week and our passing was just not good, and it makes a big difference. Even today, first period, second period, it was just a lot of times when you don't get it on your stick, it just takes a little bit more, and that's the biggest difference for me, NHL and AHL. The biggest thing by far. And when you have a player or players like that who puts it on your tape where he can release it right away, it makes a big difference.
Is Booth the guy that we don't ask you enough about?
Probably. I mean, he's still learning a lot, but that's that's the way he plays, and a lot of people compare him to Mikey Anderson, and do we ever talk about Mikey? No, right? But
Yeah.
it's a good it's a good question because we never talk enough. I would say enough about those guys who do a lot of things well and also a lot of things for the team. Right? They're not being selfish. They do a lot of things for the team.
You've played him every game this year, which is really not normal for a first-year pro. Has there ever been a moment where you've thought, well, maybe I need to give him a night off, or he's just been so consistent that thought hasn't come up yet?
Yeah, no, not a night off, but there were times I had to cut down his minutes a little bit, and but again, he was pretty hot for a while, and don't forget we lost Mavari, so we had Hickett's playing a lot of minutes, and we needed somebody to step up, and it was him. So that means he played a lot of minutes against top players, and he did very well. Him and Rosie been a pair for a while now, and that's on top of it. So again, I give him a lot of credit.
Pretty hot in the third after having a little bit of a rough second. What did you say to the guys during intermission to just try to help get them back on track?
I'd have to ask the guys, but no, I think they needed a wake-up call. It was a big roller coaster, a lot of up and downs. We actually had a decent first period, but start from the second right away, from the first second to the last. That was no emotions, not our game. We didn't do the little things right. Took stupid penalties. Got behind 3-1. That's that just can't happen. And top teams, like I told the guys, top teams don't do that. And but I'm glad they came back in the third.
When you look at your guys, like obviously on a comeback win, the leaders have a huge piece about getting the team ready. Obviously, Hickett's wears the C. Is there anyone else that you can just tell in practice that they're such a leader and they bring so much to the table for the team, culture-wise?
Yeah, no, the our first line, always been pretty solid, consistent. They've been our motor pretty much all year long. Give us good energy, a lot of goals, a lot of points. But end of the day, even in the past and the last few years since I'm here, I think what makes us well is the team, right? It is not a one individual, it's not a line, but it always seems like it's the team, all right? And we need everyone, and now we have 4 solid lines and a good goaltending, so there's no excuses. And somehow one line always finds a way to get us going. I mean, you want to be consistent, but again, that's what we're all about. That's our identity, and could be one night this line, could be another night this line, but they've been pretty good about that.
Caleb Jones, you leaned on him a lot, had a lot of minutes in overtime. What was it like having him back there, being able to rely on a veteran like that?
Yeah, I know he was sick during the week too, poor guy. I think you could tell he was a little tired on the end, but he has NHL legs. You can see it. He's a big boost for our D, big boost for our team, and I thought he was pretty solid today. And he was, he was happy just to play again, right? It's been a long year for him too. Out of the lineup, scratch, hurt a lot. So he just wanted to get playing again.
Tonight was the first game of your next 4 and 6 of your next 10 that you're playing against teams that are top 3 in the division. What can a win like this give you guys going forward?
Yeah, no, it helps because we did a good job. The teams we had to beat, we were beating in the last few weeks, and now it's the big boys. They're gonna show up now, and that's where it's always nice to compare like where we at as a team. And again, it was the right step today, and now we're gonna have some work to do against Calgary, and we just got to make sure we're just gonna play a solid 60.